Hey everybody, welcome back to weekly, daily Wednesdays, a little bit out of practice, taking off 2 weeks, coming back, been busy doing the stuff, but it's the first one of 2025, so I hope everybody had a fun holiday, or, if you survive the holidays, we got through it. We're here. Welcome to 2025, everybody. It's going to be a fun year. Bunch of fun things are going to be going down. Hope you got to stay optimistic about these things. You look at it, we've been waiting on CES past couple of weeks. I saw some cool tech coming out. And I think like a lot of you, I saw like a really sparkly leather jacket try to sell me some snake oil video cards. And I'm like, nah, man, I ain't falling for that, homie.
Yeah, this time he had a leather jacket that had some like glitter in it or glossy with puffs.
Yeah, man, it was sparkly. I'll give them that. It's a different look. They were in Vegas doing that, so that kind of caught me off guard. Me and Jill were both watching it. We were talking over in our super secret Discord. You can hop into that if you're a Twitch sub or a patron or a YouTube sub. I got that set up. Speaking of that, play a little bit of catch up. I finally got around to like 2 or 3 years later setting up. So if you want to subscribe on YouTube, you can do that. And I think everything is set up so you can get into our Discord and get access to a couple of other bonus features. But there is something new with YouTube that's coming down the pipe, and I'm doing, trying to get things prepared for it because it's going to be chaos. Because we got a YouTube channel, Linux Gamecast. They're going to be changing some stuff with the way the podcast works. So if you, okay, I understand I'm doing this for 6 people, but I still love each and every one of you, okay? I don't care. For the 6 of you that follow us on YouTube, and subscribe to the RSS feed, I'm going to be moving that to, look at that.
Oh, yay, Ben! How exciting!
We're going to be our own thing. I mean, it's still going to be under the same Linux Game Kit, same account and everything like that.
Yeah.
But for the sake of your sanity, trust me on this. If you subscribe on YouTube, and if you're following anybody with more than one podcast under the same channel, it's going to get nuts in about 2 months for you. That's all I'm going to say about that. Because YouTube's going to be changing something in the matrix, and I'm trying to get ahead of it. So if you subscribe to that, if you subscribe to the YouTube for your podcast, like I said, I know there's 6 of you that do that. You'll have to update the RSS feed. Maybe I might be able to just switch it over, but that's where the videos are going to be hanging out. So if you're looking for that, like, where did it go? Just go to the bottom of Linux Gamecast. It's there. So if you're somebody who only watches Weekly Daily Wednesdays and you're like, I'm tired of this game show showing up every other day, there you go. Or if you're on Linux Gamecast and I'm like, I'm tired of watching this Wednesday show every week, there you go. Problem solved. Hopefully that's a good thing and everybody's happy about it.
Yeah, I like the...
You like that?
Oh, yeah, I like the thumbnails too. That's nice with the red circuit board in the background.
I'm not
really nice.
Done with it. This is...
Work in progress.
Well, I had 2 weeks and I did my best to get everything together, at least the scaffolding with it. So, I want to do like graphical updates and, we're going to get all flashy and fancy in 2025. So, the YouTube channel is just, I think it's at Lynn. Dude, check this out. Somebody already had LWDW on YouTube.
Oh,
yeah,
weird.
It's just some random guy too. And he's had it for years. It's not like anybody we'd recognize. He's just like, all right, fine. So it's like Lynn WDW. But
nice.
It'll be a follow channel. I just finally got through because like if you do a YouTube channel now, you got to do like multiple step verification for it. So they finally got through and got all that pushed through. And hopefully that's going to make it easier for people to keep track of the show. And I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I mean, like, this is horrible. I hate it. Or you're like, yay. Again, I'm talking to 6 people here. I don't want to waste a lot of time on it. But yeah, there you go, everybody.
Oh, I'm excited, Ben. Big hug.
Yeah. Something different, something new. We'll try it out. And, right. Updates. So I talked about this on maybe Saturday. Maybe it was Saturday before last. That thing I've been cagey about. You might not have heard if you only listen to this show. The ARM thing, a couple of ARM things, but like there's a big one that's going to be showing up. I got a date on it. And we're talking about something that is dramatically faster than any Raspberry Pi or any Odroid or anything like that. We're talking about something that's fast as a Snapdragon. Might even be a Snapdragon. Well, one of them might even be a Snapdragon. Now I'm messing with you. Not really. So I'm going to get my hands on the actual development kit versus pre-production hardware. And once I have the development kit, I can actually take pictures of the development kit and show you some stuff. I'll probably do an unboxing on Interfacing Linux. That's another great YouTube channel you should follow. And that should be in my midst on the 20th or 21st of this month. So I'm going to have a couple of months to play around with it before it goes into production release. So stay tuned, because we're definitely going to be playing with it. I'm going to be looking for feedback from you lot over on Interfacing Linux. I got a thread called Friday Fire Mail for ideas that you're like, hey, we want to test this. We want to test this. It's got a full-size by 16 PCI Express slot on it. Why? Because it's an ITX motherboard. Now are you excited? You should be. You should be. And my new best friends over at Orange Pi. You ever heard of Orange Pi before, Jill?
Oh, yeah.
They just sent me an email out of the blue, and they're like, hi, how you doing? I'm like, what's up? They're like, hey, you want anything?
Aw,
I asked them for something. So let's I don't know what exactly version I'm getting, but I'm pretty sure I'm about to have an SBC with like 32 gigs of memory on it.
Very nice, Ben.
But
That's
more
awesome.
importantly, it's got HDMI in. The plot thickens. What's going on with you? We got a little segment of catch up, so that's mine. You can do your segment of mustard.
Okay. So again, like Ben said earlier, Happy New Year to everyone. And it's so great to be back doing LWDW. And I actually got a lot of cool Christmas gifts that'll affect this show and that are very Linuxy. And one is very big, and it's in front of me, but I will talk about that later.
Is it a sandwich?
No, but I had to, let's just say I had to reorganize my computer studio to put it in.
It's two sandwiches.
It is two sandwiches. Yes, Ben. Monitor sandwich. So I said it, but I'll tell more details in the future. But today I've actually, all last night, me and my Steve husband were a bit sick. We've got the fires here in LA, if everyone, has probably heard about them. And it's rather apocalyptic. And, the air smells of smoke. The sun is blocked out by smoke, and it's raining ash everywhere. And we're in a state of emergency here in LA County. And then one of the reasons I wanted to mention it, it's my power has been flickering on and off a lot due to high winds and stress on the system. So just wanted everyone in Venn to know there is a possibility of the power going out. But I do have a handy little UPS over to the right of me, and
you'll be able to come in handy. You'll be like, bye.
Yeah.
Dude, I had, okay, see, you're not going to get all the fun with the power going out. Do you know what's going to happen this Friday here?
Oh, yeah, you're supposed to have snow and cold.
Just snow, dude. It's not like, it doesn't show like chance of snow. It's just like Friday, all day snow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dude, nothing as bad as what's going on over your side, but it will probably result in my power being out too.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can hang out. Hopefully both of our power stays on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and hop into it. We didn't do too bad. We got an entire 2 weeks of catch up and a little bit of mustard out of the way in about 12 minutes.
Good.
Now, how about an AI add-on for Firefox?
Yeah, but this one's actually useful. So our favorite open source web browser, Firefox, actually has a cool new artificial intelligence add-on called Orbit. And this one's created by Mozilla. Orbit is actually an AI assistant for summarizing web pages while you browse with a click of a button. It is currently in beta and can be installed from Firefox's add-ons site. Once it is installed, you will actually see a circular action button floating on each page you visit on the right-hand side. And you hover over the Orbit's button and can access the summarize page option, which is especially useful if you don't have time to read a very long page or website. Or you can click ask Orbit to ask it anything about the page you are on. And on the blog about the new Mozilla Orbit on the OMG Ubuntu site, I clicked Ask Orbit, and a prompt popped up on the right-hand side of the browser. And I asked the AI, what is Mozilla Firefox? And it came back with a wonderfully correct answer. Mozilla Firefox is a popular open source web browser developed by the Mozilla Foundation. La da 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 da.
A dark being from the ancient days.
Oh, yes, yes. And another cool thing is in Orbit's settings, you can adjust the response format, such as bullet points, short sentences, or paragraphs, which is really nice. So you don't have to actually tell the AI to do that. You can set it up as a setting so that it always returns the results in that format, which I thought was very useful. And it is actually powered by the Mistral 7B large language model, which is hosted by Mozilla, and no queries are shared with Mistral to protect your privacy. So this is one of the few that's privacy focused, which is really awesome. So Firefox, you did a good one. And this is actually an AI-powered assistant that is useful while you are browsing the web, and you don't have to go to a separate site to use AI like you would with ChatGPT or Google's Gemini. So I was really impressed by it. Normally, we don't talk about AI much here on LWW, but this one is actually useful.
As long as they keep it a plugin.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. It's like when they're trying to put AI in the search bar. I was talking a little bit in the pre-show. Mm-hmm. It really feels like lately, I'm having to try harder and harder to defend some of the stuff Mozilla's doing. So long as they keep this as a plugin, let me tell you where I'm at with AI right now. I found out something maybe this week. No, definitely last week. I'm search agnostic, Go. I'll use Bing. I use whatever it is. Like when I'm trying to find something, the thing they do on Google now, when you do a Google search, is they got the AI summary thing at the top. This is relevant because, this does the summaries, right?
Yeah.
There's a uBlock filter to get rid of that. I'm just throwing that out there for my brothers and sisters that are equally as sick of that block of text when you're trying to search for something, I don't need Google's opinion or Bing's opinion on what I'm trying to search. No, I need the link to the person who wrote the article who knows. Oh, it drove me crazy. So this is good to see. Love to see it. Now, I have no ability to predict and determine what people like or dislike when it comes to making YouTube videos. Never have. 100% of the time, every time I make one, I'm like, yeah, nobody's going to watch this, but it's cool. I'm excited about it, and I'll put it out. Everybody goes and watches it. Then I'll get one. I'm like, everybody's going to love this. Nobody will watch it. This is that first one. This is something Banana Pie, a couple of months ago, sent me over a development board, just a straight up dev kit board. Why am I interested in that? Well, if you look at it over here on the left, there's 2 SFP plus cages. So it's got dual 10 gig fiber, and it's got 4 1 gig ports on it. It's got an NVMe drive for storage and just a bunch of other stuff laying around on it. And, it's even got little cellular SIM slots up at the top. And I saw it and I'm like, that's neat. Then I went and looked at their documentation. I'm like, what does this take to get up and running? And it was a nightmare. It was as bad as you would expect. And here's one of the problems. This is something Raspberry Pi slam dunks. You get a Raspberry Pi, you unpack it, you can get online, you can hey, I want to maybe install Ubuntu on it or whatever. You can usually have that done in the first hour or two. You'll find a documentation or a link or somebody's done it and you're like, hey, this is okay, I got this and I got this. The problem with, Rasta stuff, Banana Pi stuff, Orange Pi stuff, is you go to their website and it's all developer documentation, which is great if you need to know the signal frequency and pull up and pull down on the integrated circuit to pull whatever. But I just want to get I want to get an operating system installed on it so I can start playing with it, because that is super important when you get something. It doesn't matter if it's hardware or if it's a harpsichord. Time after you unbox it to doing something productive with it, enjoying what you have is critical. So I unboxed this thing after a couple of months. I threw it in the corner, everybody. I did. I'm like, I don't want to deal with it, man. But it's got those two 10 gig fiber ports on it, and they were just too neat not to play around with. Now, after about the 4 weeks of just like letting it go, I did spend that afternoon following through those official docs. And what did I get when I followed the real docs? And this is me. I'm not like hyper intelligent, but I kind of know what I'm doing here at this point. I ended up with a block of soft bricked eMMC. That's what happens when you follow the official documentation for this thing. No joke. I've repeated it multiple times. So day 2, I did that fun game. A lot of you played this game too, where you read through like dozens of like Reddit posts, forum posts, and try to piece together a puzzle of how to get this working. And I did. It resulted in the BPI-R4 booting OpenWrt because, hey, it's a router, and getting it installed on the internal eMMC, which is a great accomplishment. And when you finally get that working, usually your first thought is like, how did I pull this off? Because it's always that like side post to the side post that gives you that little extra bit of information that without that, you wouldn't have pulled any of this off. I document this stuff. This is one of the things I like doing on interfacing Linux is like, here's a quick start. You got the thing, get it out of the box, get it up and working. And you see what's rolling by on the screen right now? That's a USB to TTL UART thingy. You gotta have one of those. We don't have to have one of those, but you're gonna kind of be flying blind if you don't. So there you go. Nice quick start. It's hammered out. It'll get you up and working. Oh, by the way, this thing's got Wi-Fi 7 on it, and it kind of works. I mean, it cuts on, and you know your Wi-Fi 6, and you know they change all the numbers after that. And I don't have anything Wi-Fi 7 actually tested with, but the radio came on. It pulls about 9 watts from the mains if you're thinking about making your own router. The NVMe drive, it's a bit tricky to configure, but you know there's a Venstone way of making that work, which is the wrong way, but it's a lot faster. And you know I tried it out with all of my fiber transceivers. Let's see if we can get down here to the bottom. Benchmarks, yeah, there's all the transceivers, copper transceivers, fiber transceivers. Speed-wise, you know, it's about as fast as Raspberry Pi 4. You know, in single and multi-threaded. It's a little bit faster in a Pi 4 and multi-threaded. And I thought it was pretty good. But I want everybody to keep in mind, this is a development port. This is not, you know, like when you see Pro or stuff like that in, you know, marketing, right? You know, like a Samsung Pro. You're like, oh, it's Pro. No, this is a legitimate piece of development hardware. It's designed to, you know, plug in a UART TTL, like you're going to be getting a serial console with it to hack around on it to maybe prototype other hardware. It's not inexpensive. Just that board is going to run you about $128. That Wi-Fi 7 module, which is PCI Express Gen 3 on the back of that thing, that's like another $99. But of course, it's got a slot, an M key slot to plug in, you know, your standard Wi-Fi modules if you want to buy something a bit less expensive. And, you know, for a WRT device, probably not what you want to buy. You know, if I just want a piece of hardware to set up a router. But like I said in the video, go watch it over on Interfacing Linux. Full write-up, watch the video, give it a like if you like it. If you don't, you know, give it 2 likes. And as what I said in the video is, if you want maybe an OpenWrt and a NAS and you want to run some Docker containers, but you don't mind getting your hands dirty, and I mean legitimately dirty, you're going to be doing a lot of reading. People are currently working on getting some bits upstreamed so it can boot off NVMe instead of the internal memory. Of course, you can just boot it on SD card, but like that would be silly. Like there's a lot better hardware, easier to use hardware, and much more inexpensive that I would buy for if I would just wanted an OpenWrt router. But if you want that with a bunch of bells and whistles and a lot of expandability, maybe go check that out. Maybe don't. I don't know. It's up to you, man. I used it in the studio for 2 weeks. Didn't have a problem with it. It
awesome.
ran everything that this MikroTik. I had this MikroTik plugged into it. Well, I had this MikroTik cut off. You can go back and like watch a couple of episodes. You'll just see all the lights off on that. And of course, my 9-port MikroTik fiber switch was plugged into it, running everything in the studio. So I'm going to say a pretty interesting bit of kit. All right. CES, sparkly leather jackets aside, there were some Linux-related things.
Yes, there were. So this is one of the first things I actually saw when watching coverage of the Consumer Electronics Show for this year, 2025, that started this week. At CES unveiled on Monday, the Comet by Mecha Systems had a booth. The Comet this is something I've actually kind of heard about, rumored, but I hadn't seen the web page yet. So this is cool. This is the Comet is a Linux-powered handheld modular computer built for hobbyists, artists, students, and engineers. It looks like a really thick smartphone and has a 1.8 gigahertz ARM64 quad-core processor, 4 gigabytes of memory, and 32 gigabytes of storage, which is expandable. And it has a 3.4-inch capacitive touch IPS LED display. And it's also rocking a 5-megapixel camera with autofocus, a speaker, a mic, 2 USB-A ports, an Ethernet port, Bluetooth 5.0, and 2.4 gigahertz wireless, and 5 gigahertz 802.11 AC capabilities. And it's in very pretty primary colors, the little snap-on interfaces. And so the Engadget blog actually states, the Comet's magnetic snap interface allows users to clip on a variety of control panels called extensions, transforming the handheld into whatever device you need. For now, Mecha offers 3 standard extensions: a gamepad with a soft press D-pad and 4 input buttons, a GPIO panel with access to 40 pins, and a keyboard with ABS keys. The other cool thing is that it supports Raspberry Pi hats and microbus clickboards. So that's awesome. And it's really cool because it's powered by Mecha's Debian-based Mechanics OS and the Mechanics Shell desktop environment specifically made for the touch interface. And the Comet is coming to Kickstarter any day now. The web page is up, but they're not available yet. So look in our show notes for the link to subscribe and be notified of early bird rewards starting at $159. So I'm hoping that'll be the starting price point of
it is. I saw
Comet.
Who was it? Dak. He said it looked like it's designed by Teenage Engineering, and I'm like, no, it's $159, not $559.
Yeah, exactly.
But you buried the lead because
what?
It comes with an Allen wrench.
Oh yes, that's true. Yeah, inside, and of course, because it's modular, it can be easily taken apart and put back together, and different. You can
and the next time, like the leg falls off of your couch, and you're like, "Oh, where's my Mecha Comet? I know where an Allen wrench is, and I can take it out." That's pretty cool. I'm down with it. I'm here for it. Yeah.
I was just really happy that it literally was the first device I saw someone review on a video at the CES Unveiled. So I was really happy to, the first, Linux is all over the floor, of course. Almost everything there is powered by Linux. But
typically, we don't see smaller stuff like this at CES. You might see it like in a side wing, but you don't see any coverage of it. So it's good.
You don't see coverage. Yeah. So I was really happy to see coverage.
That's cool, man. I like the idea. All right.
Yeah.
What do we got for our last bit here? Music streaming, self-hosting, all the rage. All the rage, at least in our Discord. Like, self-host this, self-host that. And I'm like, cool, man. I self-host what I can here. Our Trackmania server is running back here on the rack on a Raspberry Pi right now. So, got me thinking. Mainly because somebody got me thinking. They're like, hey, man, how do I stream music? I want to self-host my own music server. Like, this is, reasonably technical person, but they don't want to get like too deep in the weeds. And I'm like, let me see what's out there. Because I'm balancing out ease of use versus like, does it look nice? Because I don't want, you don't want to lose people when you're like, OpenVLC, go to this address, forward these ports. And like, I'm like, no. They just want to get up and running. They just want to access their music library while they're on the go. And that is when I ran across Black Candy. And check that out. So it's self-hosted music streaming server, and that's really nothing new. Now, granted, what got my attention here initially, this is just a Docker install, laser focused on nothing but music streaming. But I think both of those are good things. There's a lot to be said for doing that one thing, but do it very well. It's using SQLite as a database, but it's got an option if you want to like host it on, like Linode or someplace like that. You can use Postgre, and it pulls the image from Discogs, that API. So you'd have to set up a token for that for your album artwork and everything else. But yeah, this is just brain simple. Old man Vin set this up in about 20 minutes, and it looks like this. Where you can log in. Now, okay, I skipped over, I'm burying the lead right here. It's got an app. This was the big one because they had an iDevice. It's got an app for iOS, and of course, it's available for Android on F-Droid. And it's a slick little app where you can just, boom, here's my library. I can do this, and I know immediately. I don't even have to look in the comments section on YouTube. And like, it's not like crazy complex. It's like, here's an album. I can play a track. People are like, but SD cards are so cheap. It's not about streaming music, people. I feel like I'm about to say it's about sending a message. No, it's about doing the thing we all do when you're bored and you're stuck somewhere where you just want to browse through what you own. You don't even want to, you just need something to do. And you're like, I just want to look through my entire library because I'm waiting on a thing. This will let you do that, but it does work. And you can access it over the web or through the app. And yeah, I mean, it just works out of the box with, if you get Docker set up, boom, boom, you're done. Don't worry about it, connected. And hey, then you don't have to worry about like subscription services and stuff like that. Me personally, I don't even know where let me know in the comments, do you still have, because I do know people, Jordan's one of these people who have maintained that like early 2000s music library, starting with Napster, right?
Yeah.
Or like my day, like FTP sites, and just held on to it, for the last 20 years. So you have like this massive, granted, like 80% of it sounds horrible compared to like what modern stuff would, because it's poorly encoded, bad rips and stuff like that. Maybe you still have that. I've let that go. I've let that go. When the internet is cut off in 2037, I'm not going to have any music to listen to. But if you got that big library at home, it's like the same way with like, I used to be big into the Myth TV, then, setting up FrankenNest to have Plex and all that and streaming stuff. And I don't even bother with that stuff anymore, Jill. What are your thoughts on this now? You brought up like the web demo. I mean, it works just fine, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's linked on their GitHub page, which is in our show notes, and it worked great. And the albums are laid out nicely, like Ven showed on the one that he spun up on his server, and it's just a really easy to use interface to play your music. And I actually listened to The Politics of Desire by Revolution Void while I was writing these show notes. So that was really cool. I enjoyed the music as well.
Pretty neat. Pretty neat. And all this will be over on Linux Gamecast in our show notes, because I will make you a new YouTube channel, but we're not doing a website. I got too many websites. Old man Ben ain't got that kind of time. But hey, if you're over on Linux Gamecast, come check out the show we do on Saturdays. If you're looking for something to do on Saturday evenings, we do Linux Gamecast weekly. Kick it into like year 13 of that. We talked about Marvel Rivals. They reversed 100-year bans for Linux players, along with other gaming and tech-related stuff. But if you like the show, what we do over here on the network, become one of our beautiful party patrons. Hook us up, and we're going to give you access to our Discord, the live and uncut versions of these shows, which, is just the raw live show together. You get the pre-show, the show, the after show in video and audio format, access to our show notes. Come watch us make it each and every week. You can follow along and participate in the docs. If there's something you want us to cover, you can drop it into the show notes, or you can hop over to our Discord and drop it in show suggestions. And like, hey, it works. So I'm like, boom, and we'll give you credit right here on the show. We're not like, we thought of it. We're like, hey, you got it. And of course, your name in the credits. Keep us loud, live, independent, commercial free. You don't need sponsor block on this video, baby. We're not here. We don't have anything that, you know what? Sponsor block's got a thing of like, don't plug yourself now. And I'm like, that's dark, man. Come on. got a store.linuxgamecast.com. We got LWDW t-shirts, and if you want a nice cool bay fedora, or if you want some stickers, all kind of fun stuff.
Yeah,
but ultimately, if you just watch the show, like, subscribe, and all that, we can still be friends too, because that's really like super important. And there'll be a link everywhere the show's posted to the new YouTube channel for Linux, weekly, daily, Wednesdays.
Yay.
Yeah. Cool, man. 2025 is going to be fun, Jill. But
yes, it is. I'm excited.
we got to run. So for the first time this year, let's bring up that bouncy music.
Yay.
And roll the credits.
Keep those penguins marching. Thank you to our advisor, our Theron, our executive producers, 12345, Barbrandt Scott, Atomic, Mike, our Chicago Kicks level, Glorious Egg Roll, Basil, Empty, Cyclism, our Sea Monsters, Angel, Dementor, System T, Writer X Machina, Death Notes, Redisc, Mark, Tara, Chairlings, Mr. Alert, Mere PPC. That's all I could, as quick as I could read them.
Just go back on go watch the video version, hit pause. You can read it.
Yeah.
They're all there, I promise.
Yeah, you can read all your lovely names there.
All right, you beautiful Linux loving miscreants. I will see you next week. Actually, I'll see you Friday. I'll be back for Trekmania. I forgot to plug that, man. Trekmania, Tuesdays and Fridays. Jordan's streaming on Thursdays. As it is, come say hi or come participate. Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Love you all. Yay, Van.